Welcome to the Quiet Warrior Show, where we help top leaders find their pathway to incredible success and a lifetime of happiness. Here is your host, Tom Dutta, the Quiet Warrior.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tom Dutta, and I am the host of the Quiet Warrior International podcast. I'm also the past speakers ambassador for an incredible event, TEDx Bear Creek Park, which will be held in Surrey, British Columbia, March 27th, 2021. Everybody, please watch a short video with me now from the curator and licensee and founder of TEDx Bear Creek Park, Mr. Alan Warburton.
At TEDx Bear Creek Park, our focus is on outstanding quality in everything we do. This has allowed us, over the past 3 years, to become widely recognized as the premier TEDx event in BC. Last year, our 2020 event was amazing. We had a live audience of over 900 people who talked about how inspired they were with all that they had learned. In 2021, we won't be able to gather in person. However, despite the virus, we will be back with an online event. For this year, we will have 12 compelling speakers. We will have a number of upbeat musical sessions. We will ensure that our 3-hour event is fast-paced and fun. We promise to inspire your hearts and minds. Our partners see tremendous value in what we're doing, and they are generously supporting us to allow us to do something special for you, our audience, for this one time only. All tickets in 2021 will be complimentary. It's been a difficult winter for all of us, and this is our gift to you. Join us with many others from around the world on Saturday, March the 27th at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. All you need to do is register today on the website to secure your place. We look forward to seeing you then.
All right. Well, if you got excited while you watch that video, I'll tell you that I'm vibrating and I'm super excited. And everyone, I wanted to talk to you today about my 3 tips on how to find a TEDx speaking opportunity. Now, this isn't just for those who might think that they want to do a TED Talk like I did a few years ago. It's for everybody. I like to inspire you. But the first thing is, I have a complimentary gift for you. So please watch till the end. And that gift is to join me for the live TEDx event. We'll talk about that again in just a few minutes. When I registered for TEDx Bear Creek Park in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada, I received an email that was in my calendar. And when I opened it, I was inspired. And I'd like to read you some of those words. It was titled A Shift in Thinking. Rarely has the entire human race been plucked from its familiar rhythms and routines and dropped into a place that none of us has ever been before. And yet, that's what the global pandemic has done. We're enduring a season of loss, uncertainty, and discord. But what's beyond? Much has been taken away, yes, but what will now fill that space? What can we do differently to seize this passing moment? Join us at TEDx Bear Creek Park as 12 transformative ideas are danced before you. Let them stretch your perspective and unveil new shapes and movements. It's time for us to shift our thinking and rebuild our world. Now that inspired me even more to want to share with you my 3 tips on how can you find a TEDx speaking opportunity. Many of you know I'm a thought leader, and I was taught many years ago that if you are a thought leader, that simply means you have an idea or ideas you'd like to share with your audience. And I was told that become a speaker and find a platform where you can share your ideas, but share them globally. Many people call me or write me and say, Tom, how do we get on that TEDx stage? Well, today, here's a few tips for you. The first tip of 3, how to find a TEDx speaking opportunity, is go to TED.com. Now, TED.com is the global website for TED. And you'll find on there a section called TEDx Program and a further subsection, Attend a TEDx Event. And then you'll be able to find an event near you. Now, in case you're wondering how many TEDx events are there around the world, there's 3,000 events held globally. And I'll give you an example of some of the countries: India, Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Switzerland, France, Spain, Italy. Amazing. That's just a small selection of those countries. Let me tell you more about what TEDx is. What's the difference between TED and TEDx? Well, TEDx is a grassroots initiative, and it was created in the spirit of TED's overall mission, which is to really research and discover ideas worth spreading. So TEDx stages, they bring that spirit of TED to local communities around the globe through what we call TEDx events. Passionate speakers share their ideas and research really to spark conversations in communities. And I'm going to go a little bit further than that. When I did my TED Talk February 29th, 2020 at the Bell Center for Performing Arts in British Columbia here in Surrey, where I live, it was about shifting people's thinking. And that's the exciting part about TED Talks. They're not only educational, but they're transformational. Let me tell you about my tip number 2. Now that you know how to source out a TEDx stage, tip number 2 is to attend an information session and apply to be a TED speaker. Now, I know many of you might say, well, one of the biggest fears is public speaking. I want to bust through some of those limiting beliefs. Anybody can do a TED Talk. And I mean that. Many people know me, and those who don't may not realize that it took me a couple tries to make the TEDx stage. I wasn't ready, and my topic was really not for the time, but I did make it. And it comes through resilience, and it comes through belief that you can do anything. You can be a speaker. You can inspire anyone, and you have that within you. What you want to do is, when you find a TEDx stage, is attend an information session. Now, these information sessions are usually done, in a hotel room or a small meeting room. However, with COVID-19 on us, they'll be done generally by virtual sessions as well. Now, dozens of people will apply for a TED Talk each year on each stage, dozens to hundreds, and most organizations will shortlist 25 candidates, and then they will go through an audition process, and they will be finally slated, the 12 to 14 speakers for the big event. But how can you stand above? Well, to stand above the crowd, to apply and be successful in being even longlisted to the 25, I would say know your why. It's really important to know why you're doing a TED Talk. And that is why, in just a moment, the complimentary gift I'm going to give you is going to give you something special, to know your why and understand more about what TEDx is. Know your why is also about understanding what idea you have to spread. Now, when I first walked into an information session, I didn't have a talk that was fully prepared, but I had a seed of an idea that I wanted to share, and that's really all it takes. An idea that is worth spreading, maybe something new that hasn't been done before, or maybe something with a new twist. Whatever it is, you can find it. And my number 3 tip for accessing a TEDx speaker's opportunity, and again, if you're not looking to be a speaker, I think this is good general information, is be knowledgeable about TED. Now, this is the big one that when I first applied for my TED, I wasn't completely prepared. So I'm going to give you something here which I think will give you a competitive advantage within yourself to be successful, at least applying and maybe getting selected for the 25 who will audition. What I would suggest is a few things. Understand more about the TEDx stage. When you've located your TEDx stage, find the members of the curation team. These are people who lead the event, who are the ones responsible for curating the platform of speakers. And what you want to do is, sometimes on the websites, you'll see bios and profiles, but learn about who they are. So when you do finally apply, you can become knowledgeable in your process. Number 3 is get Chris Anderson's book. Now, who is Chris Anderson? Well, Chris is the CEO of TED. And Chris Anderson's book, TED Talks, is an amazing book. It comes in audiobook as well. One of the first things I did when I applied for my TED Talk is I listened to his audiobook over and over again and learned some incredible things. For everybody who's looking to do a TED Talk, or if you attend an event and see what a TED Talk is like nothing you've ever seen in the world. Trust me, if you've spoken in public, perhaps the corporate sector, perhaps just as a business owner, this is a step up onto the world stage and a great learning opportunity. Check your ego at the door. The biggest thing I learned about my TED Talk is you're on the red carpet that day, not to brag about yourself or your book or how accomplished you are, but it's really about being in the minds of the audience and planting a seed, a single idea worth spreading and capturing them in their hearts to follow you and make a shift in their thinking by the end of that 12 to 14-minute talk. Absolutely incredible. What I want you to do is I want you to also attend a TEDx event. And this is what I believe, which will give you an advantage to be successful in getting at least to the first step. Attending a TEDx event, I never did that. And so I can tell you this, that when I did qualify for my TED Talk in February 2020, I got in a bus and went down to Seattle with a few of my friends and saw TEDx Seattle. Now, this is a TEDx event that has been going for some 10 years. And what I learned there, even on the trip down and even in the staging area before the event started, was incredible. I learned about what it's like to be sitting in a theater of 1,000 people or more and looking at the stage from the audience point of view. They say visualization is to be there before it happens and visualize the end in mind. Taking that experience of feeling the energy, seeing how the speakers behaved and performed, and the buzz and how the crowd loved it. When I stood on the red carpet February 29th, 2020 and delivered my first ever TED Talk, being at a TEDx event, whether it's live or virtual, changed the game, and it put it in my soul. And trust me, when you're applying for a TEDx application, and if you make it, and I hope you will, to the first audition stage, that passion will show through in your soul, and you'll gain credibility when you tell the leadership team of that event that, hey, I've been to a TEDx event, I've been to a live event, I've been to an in-person event, but I've been to it. That'll show the leadership team who are in charge of selecting speakers that this person is credible. They're excited about this, but it's in their heart. They want to do this and they've taken the time to learn. Seen a TEDx event, seeing versus not seeing it. So let me just say this to you now, that if I said, hey, if I'm applying and I'm standing in front of you and I say, well, you know, I've heard about TED and I'd like to go to a TED event. What if I said this? I've been at a TED event. I've seen the enthusiasm, the passion. I've been blown away by the quality of the speakers, and I learned a lot, and I grew personally. Not only in my life, but in my business. And it's changed the way I think. Imagine if you said that to the leaders who are selecting the speakers. That would be absolutely incredible, wouldn't it? And finally, I'd like to share with you a gift. And we watched a short video up front from Alan Warburton, who is the curator, the license holder of TEDx Bear Creek Park in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. And that event will be March 27th, 2021. I call on you now to take some action, and I'd like for you to go to www.tedxbearcreekpark.ca. Now you'll see the stock ticker on my screen asking you to go there and click on that. It'll take you to a landing page. On there, you'll see Alan's video again, and it's all its vibrant colors and energy. But find the registration link and register for the event. You will receive an email confirmation, and you're done. And on February 27th, from 9:30 to 12:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, from the privacy of your home, safe, socially distanced, you'll be able to watch the Western Canada premier TEDx event, and we'll be making history. Our big goal this year is to have 10,000 people viewing that live stream event. 12 speakers, energizers, and even more. There'll be some breakout activities. I promise you, it'll be an event of a lifetime. The last thing I want to tell you is that these TEDx events are inspiring people around the globe. But in a time of COVID-19, where we've come through a difficult winter, now is the time, everyone, to energize and to take action. So please join me at TEDx Bear Creek Park. No matter where you are in the world, you can be at this event. It's a complimentary event, unlike no other. Thank you again. My name is Tom Dutta. I am the past speakers ambassador of TEDx Bear Creek Park, and I'm a very proud past TEDx speaker.
Thank you for listening to The Quiet Warrior Show. Create is a motive-based leadership development firm. www.kreat.ca